Top of the morning to you lads and lassies. I've actually picked up that, I'm still doing the Irish accent even though I don't need to. Picked up that opening from one of my favorite wakeboard vloggers. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. David something something. I'm gonna link it. So you can watch him do his opening, which is great. And he's a great wakeboarder, great vlogger if you want to see spots from around the world. Someone wakeboarding. No? What do you want? Baba car. Oh, you want the baby?
Yeah.
The baby's right here.
Huh?
Here's the baby.
No, baby Papa.
Oh, baby blub blubs.
Yeah.
Oh, baby blub blubs. Look at what Morgan has on today for St. Patrick's Day. Morgan, can I see your outfit? You look like a little leprechaun. Oh, yeah, you like your green shorts. How you doing, little lass? Little Morgan. That's a good Irish name. You little lass Morgan. It's a good Irish name. Alright, baby blub blubs. You're welcome. Some interesting stuff going on today. We're heading into a title and escrow company to do some updated paperwork on one of our properties. It's kind of boring, but at the same time, it's kind of interesting stuff, the way you can change the deed with the name. At least I think it's interesting. Oh, and it's obviously St. Patrick's Day. She still has a pretty dirty face. What were you using to get her clean? Good job, Mo. Left.
Dawn. Hi. Good. This is Morgan. Oh, hi, Morgan. What a cutie.
Look at this view, Catherine.
So are the apartments? You think they're in this building up higher?
Yeah,
We should rent
maybe.
one.
Make that our office space.
That'd be cool.
I'd come down here to work. Parking wouldn't be bad either.
How have you guys been? You've been good. Just yeah. You guys are wearing your green. So good. I was like, gosh, I didn't.
At Frost, and look, it looks closed.
I wonder if it just moved though. But there would be a sign that said we.
They would have moved, yeah, they would have moved all their signage. Look at that, it looks closed. Let down.
Going to Starbucks then, or should we?
Yeah, I guess let's just go down to Starbucks. Everything is always going to take longer than you think it's going to take. Catherine ran that 5K last week. And the next day she was at Starbucks doing some work, and she had on her Sea Trail shirt, and someone came up to her and said, "Hey, did you run in that?" And so that started a conversation, and they're exchanging names, and Catherine's like, Darin Persinger, of course that's her name. And the person goes, "Oh, you sponsored the run." Like the idea of you doing that instead of a podcast.
Why?
Because you do enough podcasts. You don't have to do a podcast to promote a podcast.
Right? It's too meta.
It's too meta. Like you're not gonna get a new audience. Anyone that is into podcasts, you're already talking to all the time. We've lived in this town for about 4 years now and have made it a focus for our business to become known in this town, to really become the real estate agents for this market, for Lake Stevens. We've spent a lot of time and money trying to do that. And 4 years in, it's just starting to take hold. Because everything always takes longer than you think it's going to. So whether you're experienced real estate agents like us, Catherine and I combined have 29 years of experience in real estate sales. Just because we have that kind of experience and we go to someplace new doesn't mean that it's going to work for us in a year, 2 years, or even 3 years. Definitely not going to work for us in 2, 3 months, 6 months. See, the same problem with people who have lived in an area for a long time. They've been born and raised and have worked in a community for 30, 40 years, and they decide now they're going to get into real estate sales and are surprised and shocked that no one is using them as their real estate agent because no one knows that they're in real estate now. It's because everything is always going to take longer than what you think it's going to take. Take Frost Donuts, for example, the donut shop that we were at earlier. They have what appears to be a thriving business in another location. That location that we're at earlier today, I don't even think it lasts a year and a half. They didn't even make it a year and a half, even though they have a couple other thriving locations. It's because it always takes longer than you think it's going to. So look, I'm not trying to judge or give unsolicited advice to the Frost ownership, but either you didn't know your market and your audience before coming into that location, or you just didn't have enough capital to give yourself enough time to make that location really work, because it always takes longer than what you think it's going to take. So if you're not in business for yourself, it could be things like losing weight, getting into shape, took longer. Not only did it take longer, it's still taking. Still not to where I thought I would be a year into trying to get into shape and getting more flexibility and more mobility and just feeling better. A year, still not there. So it's getting into shape, losing weight, getting out of debt, saving money, buying a home, selling a home, doing a home renovation, whatever it is. It's always going to take longer than what you think it's going to take. Doesn't mean things are completely out of your control. So there's two things that you can do because it's going to take longer. First, start earlier. Don't put things off. Don't procrastinate. Start earlier. And then second, have patience. Have a ton of patience and just know that sooner or later it will happen. But just understand and be aware that it probably won't be sooner. It most likely will be later. Because everything always takes longer than what you think. I've just been working on a few projects here this afternoon. It's late now. Now going to watch a movie with the family, and it sounds like they're already making popcorn. What you doing, Mo? Pop pop?
All right, what are we watching here?